With how many claim the Democrat Party demanded COVID IDs to eat at restaurants, they overlook proof of vaccination rules reducing transmission. They also emphasized protecting workers and preventing wider business lockdowns. This alone does not prove any inconsistencies in the Democratic Party's policies or goals. A strong rebuttal is that Democrats are divided on voter ID. For example, some supporting them with safeguards demonstrates they're not against voter ID. Therefore, the claim the Democratic Party thinks voter ID is too extreme is unfounded. Another strong rebuttal is that other Democrats only oppose strict requirements for voting. For example, arguing they disproportionately burden eligible voters demonstrates they shouldn't require unnecessary identification. Therefore, the claim omits the fact that Democrats don't believe voting should have such obstacles. A third strong rebuttal is that Democrats actually support common-sense voter ID laws. For example, requiring ID that many eligible Americans don't have demonstrates only basic identification should be necessary for eligible voters. Therefore, Democrats actually support voter ID. A fourth strong rebuttal is that Democrats don't believe you should require documentary proof of citizenship to vote. For example, ways to verify citizenship demonstrates the responsibility of government, not voters. Therefore, the government can already prove citizenship without the voter needing to. A fifth strong rebuttal is that Democrats support every state offering at least 2 weeks of early voting and, no excuse, absentee mail ballots. For example, providing online, same-day and automatic voter registration demonstrates restoring voting rights to people with felonies upon release from incarceration. Therefore, Democrats support fairer voter ID laws. A sixth strong rebuttal is that non-citizen voting is almost non-existent. For example, federal database tracking demonstrates election offices utilizing the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services to verify voter rolls. Therefore, non-citizen voting is an excuse to restrict millions of eligible voters. A seventh strong rebuttal is that there is no verifiable source to validate this claim. For example, being a meme with an AI image of a woman as a template demonstrates an unreliable source. Therefore, the claim about Democrats and voter ID remains untrue. An eighth strong rebuttal is that many Democrat-led states have voter ID laws. For example, Michigan demonstrates voters showing photo ID, but if they don't have acceptable ID, they can sign an affidavit and vote a regular ballot. Therefore, Democrats actually do support voter ID. And a ninth strong rebuttal is that vaccine cards and voter ID are non-comparable. For example, even if non-citizens did vote, non-citizens voting wouldn't demonstrate a pandemic of voting citizens getting infected with non-citizenship. Therefore, the message makes no sense. Ultimately, the message cannot be exactly understood with these 9 rebuttals. While supporters may argue a connection, these rebuttals suggest they try very hard not to understand the flaws in their beliefs.